bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ na sattā vidyate yataḥ satīdam asmin bhavatīty etan naivopapadyate.
Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ na sattā vidyate yataḥ satīdam asmin bhavatīty etan naivopapadyate. MMK chapter 1 verse 10. Where the actuality is not found of freedom of things from self-existence, it is not at all possible to say, this being so, that is. This is quite a nice one to recite because it's got the first pada is full of long syllables except for the sva of niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. So bhāvānāṁ is genitive plural of bhava. Bhava means things, a thing. So bhāvānāṁ means of things. And niḥsvabhāvānāṁ means not. Nihi means without, sva self, and bhava, svabhava, self-existence, intrinsic existence. So niḥsvabhāvā means freedom from self-existence. It's another way of saying emptiness. Niḥsvabhāvā, freedom from self-existence, being without self-existence. So genitive plural of niḥsvabhāvā is niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. So it sounds good. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. So again, a thing is bhava and existence is bhava. Self-existence is svabhava. So genitive plural of svabhava is svabhāvānāṁ, and svabhāvānāṁ means of self-existence. Niḥsvabhāvānāṁ means freedom from self-existence, genitive plural. So the genitive plural is of things, of things. So thing is bhava and of things is bhāvānāṁ. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. The freedom of things from self-existence. So of things, bhāvānāṁ. Of freedom from self-existence, genitive plural, niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. Freedom of things from self-existence, bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. So the actuality of that, the actuality of freedom of things from self-existence is sattā. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ, sattā. So sat again means real and present. Translated in the previous verse as real and present. So tā means ness, the state of. So sattā means real and presentness. In other words, the reality, the actuality. So again, say in Sanskrit, it doesn't matter what order the words come in. You could say sattā bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. You could say bhāvānāṁ sattā niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. In here, the sattā comes at the end. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ sattā. So in English, we'd say, we'd put first the actuality, sattā, then of what? Of things, bhāvānāṁ. And those things are qualified, that are described as free from self-existence, niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. So the actuality of freedom of things from self-existence. Sattā, the actuality. Bhāvānāṁ, of things. Niḥsvabhāvānāṁ, freedom from self-existence. So that actuality, na vidyate, is not found. Vidyate is third person singular passive of vid, to notice, to find. Na vidyate is not found. And yataḥ means, again, tas is the ablative suffix. So yataḥ means on which grounds, so in which condition, or simply where, in this case translated where. So where the actuality is not found of freedom of things from self-existence. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ na sattā vidyate yataḥ. So that whole line describes a non-empty world. Okay, so once you've got the basic gist of what Nagarjuna is trying to say, so many of these difficult sounding expressions are just using different words to say the same thing. So you want to say it a very short way, just say svabhave or svabhavye. In chapter 24 we meet that expression. So he perhaps becoming more, using more abbreviated expressions just to point to what he's already clarified in earlier chapters like this. So svabhavye means where self-existence prevails. That's how I translated it in chapter 24. Svabhavye, where self-existence prevails. This is saying exactly the same thing in a longer way round and in a beautiful sounding way. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ. So they're all long except for sva. Sva is short, self. If you listen to the professor again, I'll play it at the end, he emphasises the long sounds and de-emphasises the short. So in the first pada, all the syllables are long except for sva. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ na sattā vidyate yataḥ. Where the actuality is not found of freedom of things from self-existence. So this is a miserable world of non-empty things, where nothing is susceptible to change. It's where self-existence prevails, where things don't have freedom, because they're destined to be stuck as non-empty things which are not susceptible to change. It's not a world of action, it's a heavy world of immovable things. In that situation, it is not possible to say. Iti means quotation marks, so not to say. So literally, so upapadyate means possible. Naivopapadyate means not, it is not possible. And here we've got naivopapadyate. So that's na eva upapadyate. Not at all possible. Eva is emphatic. So naivopapadyate is na plus eva plus upapadyate. Naivopapadyate, it is not at all possible. Etan means this. So iti etan naivopapadyate, it is not at all possible to say this. So we've got a phrase satīdam asmin bhavatīty, which means this being so, that is. Iti is quotation marks for that phrase. Etat means this or that. Naivopapadyate it is not at all possible. So, it is not at all possible, this, quotation marks, this being so, that is. So to put that into more idiomatic English, it is not at all possible to say, this being so, that is. So this being so is sattī and asmin. Sattī, asmin. Sattī again is that very common word sat, present participle of to be. So sattī is locative, it being. And then asmin means this, means the same as idam, this, but in locative. So sattī asmin is locative, where this is being, where this is being. So in other words, this being so. Idam, nominative singular neuter, this, again, same as asmin, this. And bhavatīty, third person singular of the verb bhu, to be. So asmin sattī means this being so. Idam bhavatīty, this is. So that phrase is a phrase that occurs in the Pali Sutras, and it's translated this being so, that is. And it's how the Buddha explained dependent arising, or causation, in other words. His statement of dependent arising was, there being ignorance, then there are samskaras. There being samskaras, then there is divided consciousness. There being divided consciousness, there's psychophysicality. There being psychophysicality, there are 6 sense spheres. There being 6 sense spheres, there is contact. There being contact, there is feeling. There being feeling, there is thirsting. There being thirsting, there is becoming. There being there being thirsting, there is upadana, there is attachment, there is attaching, there's clinging. There being clinging, there is becoming. There being becoming, there is birth, and there being birth, there is all the sufferings of aging and death. So that's the 12-fold chain of dependent arising that the Buddha taught in the middle. It exists is a wrong view. It does not exist is a wrong view. In the middle, the Buddha taught this being so, that is. So the Buddha taught that because the actuality is found of freedom of things from self-existence. Bhāvānāṁ, niḥsvabhāvānāṁ, sattā. That is a kind of beautiful poetic expression of reality. The actuality of freedom of things from self-existence. That's the stage on which wisdom can operate, to use a phrase from the Chinese Zen master. We are living in a stage where prajna is exercised. That stage is called by Nagarjuna bhāvānāṁ, niḥsvabhāvānāṁ, sattā. The actuality of freedom of things from self-existence. Because the Buddha was acting on that stage, it was possible for him to say, satīdam asmin bhavatīty. This being so, that is. Ignorance being so, that is samskaras. Those are samskaras. Samskaras being so, that is divided consciousness. Divided consciousness being so, that is psychophysicality. Psychophysicality being so, those are 6 senses, or that is separation into 6 senses. 6 senses being so, that is contact. Contact being so, that is feeling. feeling being so, that is thirsting. Thirsting being so, that is clinging. Clinging being so, that is becoming. Becoming being so, that is birth. Birth being so, that is all the sufferings, all the resentment, the complaining, the downheartedness of aging and death. So that's what, you see, one begins to see more clearly that all Nagarjuna was out to do was to clarify the Buddha's teaching of dependent arising. Because if we understand that teaching of dependent arising, which is emptiness, then we understand the Four Noble Truths. Not as we conceived them before, as having to do with the elimination of this inimical thing called suffering that you want to get rid of, but in a completely more practical way, a way that is workable, vidyate. Not in a way that's not workable, naivopapadyate, but in a way that is workable, is possible. So this is very much the teaching that Nishijima Sensei, my Zen teacher, was pointing towards. But he was pointing towards it incredibly unskillfully when I reflect on it, you know. So that's where we are now. We're in one hell of a mess. And I'm British, and Britain now is going through Brexit. And what I see is resentment on all sides. And I'm absolutely up to my neck in that. I'm part of that problem. There's no way that I'm free of resentment. So I'm absolutely part of the problem. But this is pointing us in the right direction. My own teacher, he was trying to point me and his other students in this direction, towards Nagarjuna, the truth of Nagarjuna's teaching. But he was doing it from a very crap base. And he did it in a very, very selfish and unskillful way. So I'm afraid I'm following in those footsteps. Very unskillful. A history of extremely selfish behaviour. But this is pointing us in the right direction. Bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ sattā vidyate yataḥ satīdam asmin bhavatīty etan naivopapadyate. Where the actuality is not found of freedom of things from self-existence, it is not at all possible to say, this being so, that is. So as promised, I'm going to play the recitation again of Professor Kashinath Nyalpane of this verse. But before that, back to the third pada of verse 3, where it says, tathaivaddhipateam cha. So how to translate that pada in light of this verse? And I still haven't decided, but the tathaiva can be understood to mean it being exactly so. And that fits in with the sense of the Buddha saying, satīdam asmin bhavatīty. This being so, that is. So, in some sense, the Buddha's teaching of this being so, that is a adipata, the being in command, the cause, which is the overarching command, the dominant cause, the dominant gist of causation is this being so, that is. Ignorance being so, there are samskaras. And therein lies the danger of what I've just been talking about. Just go for it, just get on with it. The irony is that might be the essence of true action, forgetting oneself and letting the right thing just happen. But it also might be the essence of ignorance, just fucking do it. That was the Zen at war philosophy, just take your sword and chop off the head of the subhuman Chinese prisoner. So that's the essence of samskaras, doings, confected out of ignorance. So there's the difficulty. And somehow that difficulty is related with the difficulty of translating verse 3. Because tathaivadyate could be Nagarjuna pointing to the Buddha's teaching of this being so, that is, as the predominant condition, the predominant cause, the essence of the teaching of dependent arising of suffering. But it could also be the fourth non-empty cause as conceived out of ignorance by the opponent. So, in any case, verse 10 does not use the terminology of adipata, which appears in verse 3, but that sense is obviously alluded to by satīdam, asmin, bhavatīty. This being so, that is.
bhāvānāṁ niḥsvabhāvānāṁ sattā vidyate yataḥ satīdam asmin bhavatīty etan naivopapadyate.